A good new year.
The Outlander extends a hand, yearning to seize the hazy silhouette, craving words unspoken, longing for a final glimpse of her face. And so, the dream finally ends. In a daze, you catch sight of a familiar face, just as she appeared when you first met. However, it is not Ying Ying.
Chief, thank goodness you woke up too. Are you feeling any discomfort?
Those at your bedside are your trusted companions. You have returned to your real world. You may now find ease.
Don't be silly. You're in perfect shape. You just got plenty of rest. Why don't you head to the command center? The FAC officers have been waiting for you for a while.
Indeed, they have been awaiting your arrival. The team stands ready, their spirits high as they present you with a thick stack of operation plans.
The arboreal mania entity continues to expand, with internal contamination reaching critical levels. It's on the verge of going berserk. However, we've successfully quarantined the contaminated zone and found our opening. We've pinpointed the contamination center's coordinates, and our frontline units are assembled and ready for deployment. We're only waiting for your orders now, Chief.
Yes, we got duped, but we still managed to find a clue in that illusion. Those vines crawling over the streets, they spread just like mania in the real world. Turns out the wisteria trees are the very source of the contamination. We've also confirmed another major pollution hub at the coordinates where the rust sits. High-frequency spectrum of mania detected. Looks like a highly contaminated sinner is holed up there, and she's likely the root of all this pollution.
Don't worry, Chief. Everyone has regained consciousness. Before you woke up, all the trapped victims had already been freed from the fate, and they are now recovering quickly, both physically and mentally. The civilians in the contaminated area have been fully evacuated. We can now act without restraint. We've heard back from Istia as well. Based on our encounters at the Fate, they verified the complete story behind the Fate and offered plenty of recommendations. We can now attempt to tackle that monster.
An urgent letter from Istia is delivered into your hands.
In Istia, stories of New Year fates and millennium-old wisteria trees are quite common, though only a few were ever documented. With countless adaptations and revisions over time, it's difficult to trace the original legend. However, this wish-making ceremony you mentioned is quite interesting. In ancient traditions, shooting stars were commonly seen as omens of misfortune. The practice of wishing upon them came later, influenced by foreign cultures. This suggests that the fate you experienced is relatively recent, likely within the past 2 centuries. Based on details provided such as dietary customs, we can trace it to a certain frontier region. Combined with the economic impact of distant wars and the early blooming wisteria due to climate change, We can estimate this occurred during the chaotic times around the Nightfall. Following these clues, we investigated several ruins where no descendants remained, and examined fragmentary written records. Among them, we stumbled upon a local named Fate where, on its third day, people witnessed a rare auspicious shooting star. The records of that fate end there, leaving us in the dark about what followed. However, by translating between the old and new calendars, we can determine that the fate's third day fell on an unspecified date in the first year of the Nightfall. That celebrated shooting star, recorded as an auspicious omen. It was the perishing star.
And so it was. They say the millennium-old Wisteria fate, revered for centuries, was ravaged overnight by the calamity the ominous star brought forth. How many dreams turned to dust? How many hopes lay entombed in its wake? However, perhaps this was destined. When the storm comes, never a single nest survives unscathed. In a world ever so cruel, how can any paradise endure? These moments of joy are mere fortune's accidents, illusions in the void. Everything shall return to its fated end, and that is the ultimate truth I seek. Still, I must thank you all. Your contributions to the third volume have truly breathed new life into these pages. Those distant souls I could never quite reach now shine with such vibrant charm. Therefore, when devastation arrives, it shall be all the more heart-swaying. That is the ultimate beauty I seek. Through my tales, they shall transcend into eternity. And so, dear audience, the tale of the hazy fate draws its last stroke. As the mist disperses, the threads of destiny woven through centuries finally culminate, and you shall bear witness to its final chapter. Together, let us behold what fate unfolds.